all came from Venus. I'm feeling way too hot, hot-headed, I gotta feel it. I came from heaven and made it through hell, now I got evil. Should've believed him, damn, you should've believed him. She took a dab of that till she had cataracts.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at naughtylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Hey, you guys. Welcome back. Yes, we back for the lunchtime rundown. All right, because I couldn't get to everything this morning. I didn't have enough time. I had to clock into the plantation. Y'all know how that go. So we back at it again. But before we get into today's content, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and that bell button so that you could be notified when I update content to my channel. Shout out to all my new subs. We finally reached 1K subscribers. Yes. I ain't doing that damn thing, Naughty Crew. I appreciate all of y'all. All right. So let's jump right into it. I'm not going to make you wait. All right. So much to cover this morning. We covered a array of topics because there's so much going on, okay, with the whole Blueface and Christian Rock drama, like the gaslighting of it all, and her brother exposed so much, and of course she feels wrong. She feels everybody outside of Blueface wrongs her except Blueface. All right, like that's just the bottom line. And ultimately, she spent Christmas by herself while he was posted up with his family with Max and pajamas. Okay, so there's lots going on. Let's jump into it. So earlier today, I did a story about a South African resort where there was some racism displayed, where some Caucasian guys approached African young boys, telling them that they did not deserve to be in the pool, and the pool was only for the Caucasians. Well, there has been an update, Naughty Crew. Here we go.
And the management came and intervened, called the police. The police came and opened up a criminal case against the three of them. And as things stand now, the case is being investigated, because initially we had expected that it would be attempted murder, as the video shows. However, with instructions from above in the police service, they were ordered to open a case of common assault. But the matter is under investigation as we speak.
Okay. And tell me, how do you feel about the fact that the case was changed from being an attempted murder case to just a common assault?
Well, bitterly disappointing. We don't know why, because the law must take its course. And the evidence shows everything. If you try to kill me, and the management came and intervened, called the police came and
I'm just glad that there's action being done. Okay, we reported on this morning, Naughty Crew. So they're bringing charges. Original footage. Yes, it was horrible. All right, because they felt like they did not have rights, okay, to swim in the pool. Like, this behavior has to stop, and I'm glad it's going to be some accountability. So that's just a little update on that story. Shout out to the Shade Room for dropping that footage. Oh my God, Naughty Crew, I came across this awesome thing. Like, why haven't we thought of this in America? Why? This is why the Asians are ahead of us in technology. But check this out. So when it snows, they have a sprinkler system that is installed in the roads, and it shoots out warm water. This is fuel efficient. This is environmentally friendly. So in Japan, Sprinklers are fitted underground that spray out warm water to melt away the snow and ice on the roads. Why didn't we think of this? Shout out to Say Cheese TV for dropping this footage. Who would have known? A simple solution. Why are we so behind? Why are we so behind? Let me tell you something, Naughty Crew. The potholes in New Jersey are real, okay? And it's because every winter, when it snows, the plows come along and they rip all type of holes in the road. This prevents that. Where's our scientists? I just want to know. How come Japan thought of this? This is a genius idea. What's the problem with this? Y'all let me know. But I thought it was genius, and I had to share it with my Naughty Crew. They have sprinkler systems in Japan that spray out warm water to melt the ice in the snow. You know how much money you'll save on fuel in roads alone? But see, the roads and stuff, that be a part of the political scheme. Like every election time, all of a sudden, all these roads are getting fixed that have been tore up for years, okay? Forget potholes. We be having craters. Like you will ruin your whole car. You will total your car on a pothole in New Jersey. Swear for God. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with my Naughty Crew. All right, so as you all know, Young Jock swore Tory Lanez was going to get off, and as a bet, okay, he said if he is found guilty, he will shave his head. So he is making good on his promise. All right, so shout out to the neighborhood talk.
That's in all my scalp. It was like you looking down at the plane. You know how it looks like when you look down at the plane and you see them patches.
All right, let me know what y'all think about Young Jock. You like him as a baldy? Let me know. Young Jock is known to be adventurous with his hairstyles, but I'm glad he made good on his promise because Tory was found guilty, as you all know. So there he go, buzzing it off. Let me know what y'all think about his new look. It's bald for Jock. He got a nice little peanut head. If you ask me, he got a nice little peanut head. All right, up next we got Reginae Carter. Okay, she is so in love. I suspect wedding bells soon for these two, but he gave her a beautiful Christmas gift. It's music. So she says, look what he got me for their 6-month anniversary. So he got like a promise ring.
Take it out of there.
And I think that's cute. And he just promised his commitment. But I see wedding bells for these two soon. They stuck like glue, these two. They so cute. Drop down into my comments, Naughty Crew. What do you think about the promise ring situation? I think they on a good path, and I support this healthy situation. And I really, really wish them the best. Like, she just looks so happy. She's glowing. So I can't wait to see what's to come for these two. And again, shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. So this person said, I definitely prefer this for her over what she had going on before. Me too, because that other guy she was dating, piece of crap. Okay, you heard from me. So Tasha Ink Snob says, he looks so much like her uncle that passed. I feel the connection is genuine. I do too. I think they both have great intentions for one another. I thought it was great. On another note, guys, Naughty Crew. So when I was a little girl, I always wanted to go. Well, my dad always wanted me to go to Spelman College. It never happened. But, you know, I'm successful in my own right or whatever. But I wanted to share this next story with my Naughty Crew. So 14-year-old becomes the youngest student admitted into Spelman College. So I thought this was a great way of displaying Black excellence on the show. I love to highlight things like this. So shout out to blacknews.com. She's been an excellent student since day one. At just 14 years old, Sydney Wilson is about to start her freshman year at the prestigious Spelman College. This is a HBCU, you guys, really popular this fall, making her the youngest student ever admitted into all women HBCU. I'm glad, number one, that it's all women surrounding this young lady. Like, I just hope they really, really embrace her and treat her well, because I see phenomenal things for her. So during her early years at school, it has always been evident that Wilson was an excellent student. When she reached second grade, it was found that she was really a bit different from her peers. Many of her classmates teased her for being too smart, but she didn't let it bother her. She said, and I quote, "I just stayed on my path." Exactly. And that's what a lot of young kids need to learn, how to stick to their path. She also said, "I didn't really feel like I needed to be popular because I like myself." So great self confidence, a young lady that knows her worth. So when she was 10 years old, Wilson's parents decided to enroll her in Wilson Academy in Lithonia, where she already started taking high school classes. Just a few months ago, Wilson was just then 13 years old when she applied to Spelman College. Later on, her father received an email from the school saying that she got accepted. So shout out to this young lady, Sydney Wilson. And I see wonderful things for you in the future, and I can't wait to see what's to come at the end. I'm sure she's going to do some great things, and I'm glad that they chose an all women college. I really do. Drop that into my comments, Naughty Crew. Let me know what y'all think about this story. I thought it was a feel good story. Okay. Woo. So, also, shout out to the Jasmine brand. So, a Bell Reform group backed by John Legend, Danny Glover, and more shuts down after man bails out and propels a waiter. So, a celebrity blackball reform organization has been terminated 6 days after being sued for freeing a serial criminal who attempted M-word M-word a waiter. So, according to reports, the Bell Report, or see, excuse me, the Bell Project, which is backed by many A-list celebs, including Richard Branson, Danny Glover, and John Legend, announced earlier this month the closure of the Las Vegas chapter over the case of Rashawn Gatson Anderson. According to court reports, in November 2021, Rashawn Gatson Anderson was arrested for pandering and carrying a concealed carry. He was allowed freedom without paying bail and was advised to stay out of trouble in the future. However, the next day, the 24-year-old was arrested in Las Vegas for burglary and theft. So the Bell Project then stopped in and paid his $3,000 bail less than 1 week after Rashawn Gaston Anderson was released again. He reportedly opened fire in a restaurant on an Asian waiter. So this guy was unhinged. That's why celebrities really need to be careful of the different organizations that they back. You have to vet criminals. Like, are they really deserving of the Bell Reform Program? Like, I think if you're a career criminal, you should be exempt from this program. You should have to go through the natural due process. It's one thing, like, if you get picked up on a non-violent, simple offense. All right, you want to give a person a fresh start in a second chance, and people do deserve second chances, but you have to be careful who we release into society. So I wanted to present this to my Nighty Crew to see what you guys thought, and I'll have the link below in my description box just in case you guys want to follow up on the full story. But I thought it was good food for thought for sure. All right, so this is Young Jock, fully bald. Here's a good. What do you think, guys? His head, excuse me, his head is shaped like an egg. It is. That's before. This after. So this fade area covered up that point that he working with right there, looking like a cold head. Jock is crazy. Up next, Amber Rose gets into it with Murder Mook. Let's see what they have to say. Shout out to Hollywood.
But why? Why is it disgusting? Because you're a hater. Men are haters that women make money and go get booked for $2,000 because they're fucking pretty.
No.
Don't hate the bitch, hate the consumer. Am
I was
wrong?
still going.
No. But he's saying it from an observatory.
Yeah.
But you're
angle.
observing a bitch making money because
All right, so
she's
you ready for
pretty
this?
and
Hold on.
twerking.
Wait. Hold on.
Let
hold
the
on, Amber.
bitch twerk
Hold
and
on,
make
Amber,
her fucking
hold on.
money.
Check this out, though. Check this out. Look.
Am I tripping?
Check this out.
Where's the bitch?
Now, what
Where's the women?
about when you did that? What about the girl when she did that, right?
So
and got the 2,000, right? For 3 months, right?
So?
But then she was gonna get 10 million from this company, but then women.
But why?
What do you think of this argument? I mean, Amber Rose, she's always gonna stand up for the sluts, okay? I mean, $2,000. I want a bigger bag than that. That's how I started YouTube, because I need bigger pay. I require bigger paychecks now. Let me know what y'all think. I think she a little inebriated, if you ask me. Do you think men hate on women? Yes, absolutely. I think men hate on women. Women are popping now, okay? But I also think like certain things about like hip hop culture and things like that has attributed to the way men address women nowadays, you know. And you have to know who you are. You have to know what you stand for and not tolerate that behavior. I remember the day when I realized, like, when somebody like kind of called me out my name and it bothered me, like, yo, don't talk to me like that. It's simple. Like, address me the way I address you. I treat people how I want to be treated. Point blank, period. But we need to get away from the manosphere culture, you know, where they feel comfortable enough to call us B's and HOEs and things like that. But Amber Rose, like, I just think like she put her stamp out there and what she stand for, so people don't respect her point of view. So I wanted to bring this to my naughty crew. Let me know what you guys think. We're doing a lunchtime rundown, guys. We're doing a lunchtime rundown. So also, let me know what you think about this.
Call me a conspiracy theorist, but don't nobody else find it weird that right after Roe versus Wade was overturned because they was presumably one race of women wasn't having enough babies and then the other race of women was having too many babies, all of a sudden it's a full-blown fucking gender war between black men and women all across social media. It's not being flagged. It's not being stopped. It's not being flagged for inappropriateness. They just letting it ride. And how covert of a form of birth control is that? You ain't got to worry about getting no abortions, bitches, because y'all ain't about to be getting pregnant. Why y'all ain't about to be getting pregnant? Because y'all men hate y'all and y'all hate y'all men. Boom. We ain't got to do shit. Y'all gonna do it for y'allself. And then second of all, I don't know about nobody else's city, but I live in Chicago. Black men are dying in droves, like literally. And in this city, you can't even go over the speed limit by 5 fucking miles unless you get your whole life sent to you in the mail via picture. You mean to tell me y'all can't find these boys that supposedly out here killing each other? Call me a conspiracy theorist, but don't nobody else find it weird that right after Roe versus
A conspiracy theorist you are, okay? I think a lot of what she's saying is way out there, and maybe she's just a product of her environment. That's how it works in Chicago. But there are good men out there. So shout out to Comedic Science Institute for dropping this information. But I just thought it was an interesting perspective. Let's see what some of the comments say. Felony says, they made us hate each other. Some of us are falling into this trap. This is so sad. It's true. Facts. Been saying that for the longest. They ain't about to take nothing off the streets that they bread and butter. If there's no crime, they don't have jobs. People, please wake up. I don't know. I wanted to see what you guys thought about that. I thought it was an interesting perspective for sure, and I can respect her point of view. But there's good men out there. You just have to vet properly. Oh my God, you guys, there is a terrible, terrible storm going on in Buffalo right now. And I'm just like, I'm in Jersey, so this storm could have easily headed our way. But shout out to all the families and the victims and the survivors up in Buffalo. I hope you guys are staying safe and warm up there. But people are losing their lives. That's how bad the snowstorm is. So, Buffalo woman dies in snowstorm after being trapped in her car for 18 hours as she headed home from work. This is so sad, you guys. This is so sad. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked for bringing this story to light. But a lot of people have lost their lives in this storm. So a 22-year-old woman was found dead after being stuck in her car for at least 18 hours amid the enormous snowstorm that hit upstate New York last weekend. Andel Taylor, who is now one of at least 28 people that have lost their lives in the deadly blizzard, was returning home from work in Buffalo, New York, when her vehicle became trapped in the piling amount of snow. So, according to the New York Post, she was communicating with her family when the car stopped moving, telling her sister that she was scared as the snow continued to pick up at a rapid rate. She called 911. She was waiting for them. Her mother, Wanda Brown, still said, but nobody could get to her because they too ended up getting stuck in the blizzard. So Andel told her relatives she was going to try to get some sleep and then walk to safety if help hadn't arrived by the time she woke up. So when Andel stopped responding to her family's calls, however, Wanda became increasingly alarmed. By the time they had reached her location and busted her windows down, she was already unalive. So the fire department, police, everybody got stuck. Wanda continued, further questioning why a state which is known for heavy snow during certain months of the year doesn't have emergency vehicles ready to operate in critical conditions when people are in danger. This is so true. This is negligent, but the storm, it was coming down so fast. Like, would it really have made a difference? I mean, they could have prepped, but it was a blizzard, you guys. It was coming down at large amounts. And this is why it's important. You got to, number one, as bad as you may want to get home, sometimes it's just safer to stay where you're at. Seriously. It's not worth it. And she probably froze. This is just sad. But I wanted to bring this story to light because Mother Nature is a beast and storms are getting worse and worse and worse. And I've really been grasping the importance of being prepared. I just told my partner, like, oh, we gotta get ready for this snow. Like, we need some stands, some salt, you know what I mean? Things. We need to start stockpiling on some things just in case, like, we get something like this where we can't move around in our vehicles or on foot. Everybody was getting stuck, you guys. Everybody. So there was no help if you needed it. All right. Let's see. We got into that this morning. Ooh. Yeah, and the celebs, you know, they all give star-studded Christmases. So we're gonna get into some of that. Like, let's start off with Nick Cannon. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. So Nick Cannon says he spent all night traveling like Santa Claus to see all of his 11 kids on Christmas. As you should, Nick. As you should. Happy holidays. They need more time for you. Keep it going. Christmas should be every day, Nick, for the kids. So I think it's good. Let's see what some of the comments say. Just buy land in one state and build them all separate houses on it at this point. Seriously, that would make sense. So he wouldn't have to travel so much. And just fly their family in and out. To me, that makes sense. At this point, you might as well just build a compound where everybody have their own home. Just like they did on Greenleaf, how that setup was. And if you don't want everybody in the same house, build separate houses. He have enough money to do so. Hell, he could build them an apartment building at this point. So Meek Mills did some great things for the holiday. So shout out to On-Site. Meek Mills post bail for 20 incarcerated Philly women, says no one should have to spend the holidays in jail. So 'tis the season for giving back as rapper Meek Mill proceeds to spread some holiday cheer by paying the bail of 20 Philly women currently incarcerated in Philadelphia complex, reports. The Reform Alliance co-founder paid the bail for 20 women incarcerated at the Riverside Correctional Facility in Philadelphia so they can be reunited with their loved ones in the time of holidays. The women were also given gift cards to buy gifts for their families, reports note. So according to the outlet, 5 women were released on Christmas Eve, with 15 more women to be released in the coming week. It was devastating for me to be away from my son during the holidays when I was incarcerated, Meek said to the press release. So I understand what these women and their families are going through. No one should have to spend the holidays in jail simply because they can't afford bail. I'm grateful for the opportunity to help these women be with their families and loved ones during this special time of the year. I thought this was a very great gesture, but I just hope these women do not take this opportunity for granted and they use it as a restart. Seriously. But I thought it was a very giving and loving gesture on his part, and in putting himself in those shoes of those women. So hopefully they all have good holidays. All right, and this comes on the heels after the judge in his case that awarded him all of those probation all those years ago. All her cases are being reviewed for misconduct. They pulled it all the way back. Make sure you guys check out The Best Man. We talked about that earlier. It is a really good series. This is them on set. You could just tell all their chemistry is just cohesive. I love it. This is great. I love it. I can't play the sound because it's covered by Beyonce. But I thought this was dope. I wanted to share that with my naughty crew. Oh, did anybody catch Diddy in his Black Santa series? We'll get into that next.
What you got on, girl? Where you going, girl?
Holiday shopping.
Let me see what watch you got on.
Matches my face.
Oh, you got that other thing I got you.
Well, matches.
Let me see. Hold on. Back up a little bit. Back up. Damn, girl. You going hard. And you got some J's on? And she got some J's on. Damn, baby. Where you going to buy me a gift? Man, one day I'll get a gift. One day. It's a dream.
You get.
So Callie, you know he's gonna take care of his family or whatever, but she looks so cute. You already know he is this giving. Let's see what Black Santa got to say.
Ever since Black Santa been in charge, everything's been going smooth. I just delivered everybody's gifts. When you wake up in the morning, you'll be absolutely happy. And we just got back to headquarters. We got some Deleon tequila. Everybody take a shot. I'm so sorry to tell you that Santa is black. And I'm going to still make sure you keep your job. But you have to know that Santa's black now, okay, baby? Santa, you want some Deleon tequila? Oh, okay. Oh.
Y'all already know Diddy is a nut, okay? Jim Jones also gave back for the holidays. Let's get into it.
Got Bobby. I got nephew over there.
We outside.
We
Merry
outside,
Christmas,
got
happy holidays to
Swaggy.
everybody. It's to get back.
GB. Can't forget those who are less fortunate. You heard everybody do their part. Makes it a little bit better. You heard? Got them feet pieces for the kids. You heard? God bless and Merry Christmas. We doing our part. Let's see what we doing. Got
That's right, Jim. You are, and I think this is dope that you setting up give back for the community, for the less fortunate. All right, we got Chris Brown hanging with his kids for the holidays. Woo! Girl! Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Whoa. What's that?
She's showing out though.
Yeah.
Chris Brown looks good. I think Fatherhood looks good on Chris Brown. And I'm glad he's like really hands-on with his children. And you see him posting a lot. And earlier, guys, we went through the interview, Akon's interview, and I told you that he discussed and defended Nick Cannon and all his kids. Here it goes.
Agree, like Nick Cannon and his spreading of his seed.
100%. I agree with him 1,000%.
Oh, no.
That's how life is supposed to be.
No.
Why not?
Because
he's rich.
No, but this is
no.
See, wait.
Let me finish.
Okay, go on.
He's rich. He's responsible.
Is he?
Yes, he takes care of every one of those children.
But this is the
and the baby mother's with it, and they hurt for nothing, and they live comfortably.
But what about the kids though?
What about them?
Because this is what I mean about men, right? You guys think that just having kids and giving money is enough, but what about the time? No,
he's there for every one of them.
How? There's no way that you can.
Are you serious?
Are
Nick is there for every single one of those kids.
There's no way that you could have.
Yes,
12
it is.
kids.
I got 9, and I'm there for every one of mine.
So every single time you're at every single recital.
No, that's a white man's thing. Who gives a fuck about a recital?
No.
My job. Oh no, seriously. My job is to listen. My job is to raise my kids.
No, but this is.
Hold on.
Go
to be
on.
Responsible.
Yeah.
To be understanding. To protect their mother. To give hand with their father and assist with family planning and to be responsible adults.
Okay, but what
my
about
job ain't to
quality
be doing all that extra stuff that all these
what
holidays and recitals and all that. Now, guess what? While I'm taking care of my responsibility to make sure the family has a roof over their head and food, if I have the time to do that and show love, yes, I will do that. But my responsibility is to make sure that they grow up responsible, strong, and become a real input to society.
Yeah, but you're not then if you're not around them enough to give them
that's false. That's not true. Because communication allows me to be there every day. That's what FaceTime phone is for.
No, but that's not the same as if you had no Akon.
Oh, no,
wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. This is very important.
No.
Okay, go on. It's very important. Okay. The reason why people like me can't spend every single day and minute with their children is because the mother's job is to be there with the children. I'm the man. My job is to provide comfort so the mother can provide and raise those children to be like me. Now, if it's a man, when a child gets to a certain age, as a man, that's my responsibility now to show him what a man's role and responsibility is. But you can't expect a man to conquer the world if he's home with children.
You agree, like Nick Cannon and his spreading of his seed.
100%. I agree with him 1,000%.
Oh, no.
That's how life is supposed to be.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
That's how I feel, Naughty Crew. I think it's very one-sided. I think it's chauvinistic, his point of view. Hey, Bernice. I think it's very chauvinistic, his point of view. Okay. Let me know what you think. He defends Nick Cannon. He thinks that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to be spreading his seed irresponsibly. He thinks it is okay that he's not there to spend time with the children because he feels like that is the woman's job. So I wanted to present it to my Naughty Crew. We touched on this briefly earlier. Okay. But here's the in-depth part. Like I said, in this interview, he was trying to say whatever, I think, for shock value. But this portion of the interview, I think he really does believe this. Did you see how he shut her down, the interviewer? Shout out to the Jasmine brand. He's like, his point was more important than hers. That's that chauvinistic shit. Nobody got time for that, Akon. It's irresponsible. The man admitted it's too many kids for him. That's why you feel so easy to say this. Because you're not really doing the hard work. Dealing with the emotional. Oh, boy. So this was Tory's last tweet right before he got his sentence. He said, I'm going to leave this here one more time and watch how it ages. No weapons formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me in judgment shall be condemned. You sit and watch now and don't ever question the God I serve again. This is my last tweet. You know, Naughty Crew, I just find it really funny that everybody turned to God when they trying to deflect from what is really going on. Seriously. Even Krishan Rock does that. Notice, every time they ask her about her fake ass relationship with Blueface, she turned to God. She making some spiritual bullshit. It is crazy, Venice. It is. The ass backwards thinking of our youth, it has to freaking stop. So Adele stopped and paid homage to Megan during her concert.
Someone said, why doesn't Adele have backup dancers? And then someone made a video of Water Under the Bridge with Meg Thee Stallion doing the dance tour. Remember that? Well, tonight, I would like to wish Meg Thee Stallion a very, very merry Christmas. Girl, get your piece. Do whatever you want now, baby. I love ya. Right, so Paul. Someone said, why doesn't Adele have...
I'm glad somebody is speaking out to support the girl because she's been going through so much. All right. All right, Ray J paid homage to Princess decorating skills. You know, Ray J loves taking credit for other people's work. So he posted this.
Princess, kill these trees. Look at them trees. Wow. Oh, we ain't even put all the gifts under the trees yet. But Princess, you did your thing with these trees. Ooh-wee, Merry Christmas.
Okay, we know Ray J always gonna be extra. And we know you miss your wife, Ray J. See, they always do all the cheating and the foolery, and then when they get that divorce, that final divorce, they be wishing they would have did them better. It's the 80-20 rule, you guys. Remember that from Why Did I Get Married, the movie? The 80-20 rule. Martell Holt also having them same issues, okay? Regretting how he did his wife and his family when you had a solid family. So he said, just want to tell you, Princess Love, you really did a great job decorating these Christmas trees all by yourself. No help at all. So proud of you. Just amazing. Love you. The kids love them. Epic has the Paws Patrol's Xmas tree, and Mel's has the Pokemon Xmas tree. Now let's fill the trees with gifts and love. All right. I you know what? I'm really happy that these two are at a peaceful place. I really am. All right. And they're figuring out the whole co-parenting thing. Sometimes you got to take the relationship out and just focus on the kids to get back on the right track. So, you know what? I'm proud of you, Ray J. I'm proud of you for putting your big boy pants on. Okay, he is really trying to work on himself. Oh, and also he's trying to mentor Bow Wow too. Those two are nuts. They was on Hot 97 the other day talking cash ish. All right, so CEO of 1501, who is the CEO of Megan Thee Stallion, former record company, is speaking out regarding the guilty verdict in the Megan Thee Stallion trial.
I'ma just sit and let this one sit. 20 something. Hey, you looking at 20 something years, 2 days before Christmas. His kid's sick, his parents, her mama sick, everybody sick. I saw his daddy talking in front of out in front of the courthouse. That shit was coming from the pit. That shit was coming from the pit. I felt that nigga, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you see, I'm lost for words myself. I don't think you want to do that much time.
Okay. Hey, Sin. Yeah, Ray J and Bow Wow, they were on Power 105 and Hot 97. And Ray J is supposed to be mentoring Bow Wow into his mature manhood. Go check it out. It is on YouTube. You know, those two are clowns, okay? They are the epitome of not taking accountability for any of your behavior. But you know what? Ray J, I think he is a great businessman, and I think he is hilarious, you guys. I'm sorry, but like I be on the floor when Ray J be talking, like, because it'd be hard for me to take him serious, but he's hilarious and he's a good businessman. Now, as far as them supporting each other emotionally, we're gonna follow it, Naughty Crew. We're gonna see how this gonna work out. Okay. Oh, shots fired. Yes, and Carl Crawford got with Evan Lozado and hasn't been right since. Yes, you're next. But you guys, I wanted to bring this forth. He's speaking out because him and Megan's lawsuit is up next in January, the end of January. So I'm looking because they basically saying that she violated the contract by trying to leave them, but she was trying to get out of a 360 deal, I think. So he's been making comments on the trial thus far, but everybody is surprised. I was surprised at the verdict myself or whatever. Am I glad the verdict was what it was? Yes. But my point of view was like I didn't really feel like the prosecution really presented like a solid case, but apparently they did. Okay, because he was found guilty. But he's got the appeals process, guys. He's got the appeals process. Oops. Sorry. You know that good old do not disturb, okay? So I thought that was interesting that he's speaking out. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with his trial, okay? So Emily, Fabulous X, she posted some Christmas pictures of her and the family. Shout out to the Shade Room. They look really nice. Love that she has gingers and her sons, but they all look really cute. They kind of look like Adam's family. This is Ciara and her family. You know, all the celebs are going to show out for Christmas. What's her name? I forgot her name. They don't even have it. SZA, I forget her name. All these single mamas. Hazel E. So I thought this was dope. Soldier Boy and his new baby. The baby is cute. I hope he clean up his act. The baby with all his kids in green, okay? All right, so star-studded Christmas. Everybody fronting for the gram. Yes. And this was the cutest, okay? Fat Joe went to see his goddaughter.
Izzy, why you looking so fly like that? Pop love you so much. Wow. Wow. You got Pop favorite color. Merry Christmas. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I love you so much. You look so beautiful. Wow. Let me see. Turn around one more time. Let me see the bag. Let me see the bag. Wow. Wow. Izzy, why you looking so fly like that?
Okay, she is Remy's twin, okay? Like, no denying it. She is so cute and adorable, and I just love the job that Papoose and Remy are doing with their little one. Papoose wanted a baby so bad. I hope they give her a sibling. But yes, she is beautiful. Thanks, Bernice. All right. And yes, Summer Walker is the one that was pregnant. I couldn't remember her name because, like, all the single mamas are running together now. Everybody is just running together now. All right. I'm going to drop the link for a little bit, you guys. I got a few minutes and then I got to go back to the plantation. Okay. Got to make the donuts. Got to make the donuts or whatever. So just to go over some of the topics that we went through, just in case anybody joined late, okay? We got into the celebrities Christmas, everything that I couldn't get into this morning. All right. It's all just a blur, okay? Oh, I did forget this story because sometimes Sukiana get on my nerves, you guys. Ugh, the ignorance. Let me see what y'all think.
For niggas. On Sunday, I cook for other bitches' mans.
What?
I cook for other bitches' mans on Sundays.
Like, this is current.
Mm-hmm.
Is this like hire Sukiana? Like, what is,
I just cook
is
for other
this a
bitches' mans
business?
on Sundays. Neck bones, collard greens, steak.
I'm vegan.
Like cauliflower, chicken, like stuff.
These chicks, these popcorn hip hop rappers that that they be popping out of love and hip hop, they just be saying anything, just anything, so they can. I just cook for other women's men. Like, I don't need you to cook for my man, chick. He good over here. I don't need no help from Sukiana. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Have several seats. We got into Adele showing support for what do you call it? Megan Thee Stallion. All right. I thought that was cute. We got into Akon defending Nick Cannon, sounding like a whole fool out here in these streets. Yeah, I said it. Okay. He said some chauvinistic mess. We got Chris Brown spending quality time with the kids for Christmas. But Chris Brown, unlike other fathers, he always got his kids. All right, you got to give him that. He a good father. We got Jim Jones giving back to the less fortunate. Thought that was cute. We got DJ Khaled showing off his mom's gifts for Christmas. We got Puffy playing Black Santa. Okay. Woo. And did y'all see Fetty Wap drop some pictures from prison? Let me share this with y'all. Ooh, here's Sin. Hey, Sin. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Naughty Love.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing well, Trying to do a lunchtime rundown. What you want to sound off about?
Oh, baby, I just want to come and show you some love. I couldn't come up early. It was much too early, but now I'm like, I got time. And
Oh,
all the
thank you
Christmas
so
pictures were so
much.
cute.
Uh-huh.
The baby and his kids look so cute. I don't even like him like that, but the pictures are cute. All the
I just
family
think
pictures look
fatherhood
cute.
look good on him.
Yeah, it does. I don't know him like that, but the pictures look good. They dress up well.
Exactly.
Sierra and her
Exactly.
kids always look cute. They always
Mhm.
bring it.
Mhm.
Summer
Mhm.
Walker look beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody look
Mhm.
nice.
I think everybody looked great, and I just hope their household matches those pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
'Cause people be fronting
Exactly.
for the gram out here in these streets.
Okay. They
How was
all
your
dressed
holiday?
up. It was it. I'm a grown up, so the holidays don't mean nothing to me. It's just another day. But I love to see people happy, make people happy. That's all. The
Yeah, me
love,
too.
my mom is in Honduras, and my niece went to see her, who's the oldest. She's the
Mhm.
oldest niece, who's 45. So my mother out there getting her show off on, getting her cook on, getting her clown on. My niece is getting spoiled. She got her first grandbaby there. They are in heaven, and I'm
Oh,
just
that's what's
happy.
up. I know your heart
Hmm
is filled up with joy.
Oh, you better believe it. Anytime my mama heart is full, my heart is full. I'm like, yeah,
Oh, same.
and she ain't your typical 86-year-old. She 86 only in years, but the girl is really 68, okay?
She still got it, right?
She still got it. She still part.
Oh, I think you broke up. Sim broke
Get her.
up. Oh, there you go. You coming back now.
Did I break up?
Yeah, you broke up a little bit.
I'm moving around. Yeah, I like your hair wrap too.
Thank you so much. I sell them, right? So I'm working on
Uh-huh.
getting a website because, in the summertime, me and my man, we both have our own businesses. He does the custom T-shirts, and I sell head wraps and turbans. And I go through the different festivals in the summertime. So that's where I normally sell it. So now
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to build up a website so people can have access to them.
Yeah, I'd rather buy it from you, Uncle.
Exactly. Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I have to bring them in because I have a whole setup in my car because we mobile with it. Okay.
Sure too.
But next time I go live, I'm gonna have some here and I'll bring them up on screen and show it to you guys, and then you can email me your information. I'll ship it to you that way.
Okay, sounds good. I like that one that you have on your head. I like colorful ones. Not too busy though, because all the ones I have
Mhm.
right now are all solid colors, but because I wear them to work, I like to keep it simple. So
Yes.
for the
Yes, I
weekends,
have all different ones for everybody. Trust me.
is that Kim?
Hey,
Hey
Yes,
Kim.
it is. Hi, Nadi. I said I want to come and support Nadi. And hey,
Okay.
Sin.
Hey Kim. Oh, that pajama party was off the chain the other
Yes,
day.
we had so much
It was. And that Val, she's something else, girl. She had me hollering.
Oh
Yes,
my
she
God,
had
you
me on the floor.
I was like, did he hire her to come in? Because she came in on a comedic timing and just did it. She
She
finished the show
did,
off
didn't she?
perfectly. Yeah, it was nice. I loved it.
I said, man, I ain't she in Vegas and I'm here because I want to see her in action, okay?
Yeah, me too. I would
Okay.
like to see her live.
What you say,
Yeah, what's
Nadi?
going on, Kim?
Oh, nothing. Just trying to get back a little bit back into work and everything today, and then I had some doctor's appointments, trying to get and take care of myself, and then I'm getting ready to I had scheduled this week with vacation days, but on
Hmm
Friday my manager said she was going to be off this week, so I was like, well, I'm gonna take my vacation days off. I'm gonna take
Okay.
them back and
Exactly.
keep them. If she ain't gonna be off, then I ain't got nothing to do, and I use them this
Okay.
week.
Okay. All right. That's why you gotta be flexible sometimes. You ain't
That's
gonna be
right.
here.
You gotta be
I'll be here.
flexible.
Hmm
Yeah,
You
so
ain't
I'm gonna
gonna be
take
here.
that.
I'm gonna be here.
That's right. So I'm gonna take 2 weeks in January instead of 1 week, and I'll come back after Martin Luther King's birthday.
I know
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
that week that you're gonna be there is gonna be like a vacation at work.
Amen. Because that's what I'm
Hmm
saying. So I'm just taking it easy, and then I just ordered some of my stuff for the people's New Year's. I got the greens and the black eyed peas and all the rest of that. But everybody out of smoked meat, so I'm gonna have to get up out of here and go find my smoked meat.
What?
Yeah.
Where you live at?
In Michigan, in Detroit.
Oh, what?
I found all my smoked meat this year at the Spanish and Caribbean supermarkets. I don't know if I have those out there. That's
Yeah,
where
we
I
do
no,
in
found
it's a
California.
neighborhood one, but I use that Instacart. So it's a neighborhood one. So I'm just going to stop being lazy and then go on up there and get it,
No, Kim, Instacart is like the best thing in the market, girl. You ain't got to worry about no shootouts or nothing. It gets crazy in that market
Seeing you
sometimes.
not lying. Hi, Bernice. Seeing you not lying. But let me tell you something else, Sam. One day, because I work so much and then I have, I'm battling rheumatoid arthritis. I'm on my healing journey.
Me too.
So, you too?
And in the hips. I got the regular arthritis in the hips.
Oh yeah, girl, it's a trip. So I was looking at God and I was like, God, I wish I was rich. Cause I have a butler, a cook, and a maid and all the rest of that. So it was like God spoke back to me. Well, you got a butler, you can use one of them food order delivery services. You don't need no driver, you just got a new car. You drive yourself. I said, well, that is true.
Or
And he said
you
you
can
can get a
call an
maid on
Uber.
your own.
Or you can get an Uber.
Yep, I'll get an Uber or Lyft. And I have been doing that too. And especially when I want to go out now, you know what I mean? With my
No
girls
need
or
to drink
whatever,
and drive.
because
No need to drink and drive, honey.
that's
You
right.
can
And
get your
then
Uber.
that's right. And then sometimes, my girlfriends, they'll be having different things and they ain't got no ballet, right? And I can't be walking for one. And even if my wasn't wrong with my legs, it's too bad out here nowadays. To be walking, in someplace at night and when you get out too. So I just do an Uber and Lyft.
Yeah,
No,
'cause,
it's dangerous, ladies. Because
no matter
just
how
to let
young
y'all
they may
know,
look.
last November, I was a victim of a violent crime. Like these young kids tried to carjack me.
Yeah.
It's not.
No.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what I was
not
gonna say.
safe.
No matter
And
how
they had
young you
weapons and
are
everything.
or how young you look, you still know how old you are, and these kids will knock you over the head for a damn headset,
Yeah,
let
I was
alone the
jumped
phone
by
or your purse.
two boys. They jumped me.
They did?
Yeah.
I'm
I had
so
to
Oh my
sorry.
God, where were you?
What?
I'm in New Jersey, so
You have
Oh
to get
yeah.
stitches.
so it was carjacking season, and I was the target that night, but I was able to run and trying to kind of get away, and I started screaming, so all the neighbors came out, and scared them away or whatever. But yeah, like it's
They
dangerous, it's
chased
not
you?
safe. And I don't care what time of the day, what time of the night, you have to be alert. Like
Yep.
people are broke.
You do.
Desperate.
Yep. I don't carry no handbags around this time of year. All my handbags are in storage. I carry the basics, okay?
Yeah, I
Exactly.
just carry mine too, and I carry on my person. And then my mother used to, when she was here, she used to always fuss at me because I didn't fix up going out. Sitting out, you stink. You need to be fixing up and everything going out here. How you gonna get anybody? I said, Mama, I ain't worried about that. I do not want to fix up. I don't want nobody thinking I got nothing at all. Okay.
Ain't that
I
something?
said,
We gotta become
but it don't even
Cinderellas when we
matter
go
though.
out. It don't. They knock over the head of a homeless person. They don't give a damn.
They sure
Especially
do, because
not
some of
out
these people
here.
just mean and dirty.
Out here in
Exactly.
California, the homeless are everywhere.
I
Everywhere. I tell you,
heard.
everywhere. They are across the street from the hospital where I work. And the hospital I work is #1 in the country and #2 in the state, okay? And
Oh
it is
damn.
homeless. It is homeless people right across the right on the grounds of Cedar Sinai living. This one man got a whole wooden panel that he just moves around from place to place when they tell him to move.
It's bad.
No.
I know
It's
the homeless
bad.
is rampant here in New Jersey. Like all at our Penn Station and everything, they have like a whole section, and that's getting overcrowded. The shelters are overcrowded. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's just a lot going
It's
on.
really, really, really. When I tell you it's really bad here, it is. I mean, the homeless are
It is really bad in
everywhere.
California
Where
because
are
I've
you? Are you
seen.
in New Jersey or in New York?
Hmm?
Sam, what state are you in?
I'm in California, but I've been to New
Oh,
York. I ain't seen the homeless in New York like I've seen them in LA. And I go to New York every year. But I have not seen the homeless like that. In LA, when I tell you they're
Yeah,
bad, they are bad.
I've
And
seen
they
a
got
lot
enough
of
nerve.
on YouTube videos and shows and documentaries on the homelessness there. It was this one guy. They did this one who's now the mayor of some kind of homeless village down there, but he actually was in Silicon Valley and lost everything. They show this one show called Soft White Underbelly. He go on Skid Row and show everybody, and it is one near a beach down there. It's nothing but homeless people around that beach. Venice Beach.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
before the
Venice
Super
Beach.
Bowl, they have to come and move them all the ones that was by before the airport and between the airport and the site for the game. They have to come and
Mhm.
remove all those people so that way the visitors won't see them and they push them further back and now they back
Mm.
over there again. Oh, it's bad.
It's
It's
bad.
bad.
Here in
Mm-mm.
Washington State is really bad
Mhm.
for it too. They
My
have
God.
whole big campgrounds just of homeless and tents. They call
I
it
mean,
tent.
they really failed the country, with the C-19 when that happened. They really extra failed the country
They
because
really
those
did.
people are already doing bad. Now more people are out there.
They are. And this housing has gone up so much.
Oh, we're not gonna talk
Oh,
about that
New
again. That's
Jersey
a
is
whole
out of
nother show.
control.
That's a whole nother show.
That's why
Yeah.
people are like living together and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
because you can't afford to live on your own. I know here in New Jersey, a one bedroom is starting at like between 1,500 up to 1,800 for a one
Girl,
bedroom.
that's cheap. That's cheap. In LA, it's
Oh
starting off at
yeah, LA is
24.
bad.
It's 24. And it has nothing to
See,
go with
you're not
it went
joking
down.
'cause
It
my
went
daughter
down.
had went down there and for her research thing for her PhD, right? And she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Mom, well, they told me I can't keep coming down here. It's been a couple of weeks and I might have to move down here. So it's been difficult. I don't know how I'm gonna move here because the rent is high. And so here I am. Oh, let me get on here and help you because you don't know where you looking at and blah blah blah, girl. I seen the rent for that thing. Only thing I had to tell Jessica, well, I'm gonna pray. Let's pray.
Yeah, it's gone
Now
down
you
a
gotta have
little
2 or
bit
3
this year.
jobs.
Yeah, it's gone down a little bit in this last 10 months. It's gone down. It's gone down significant, like about $300 to $400. But that makes a difference to some people. But I've never been in a situation where I had to have a roommate unless I was in college
Exactly.
Yeah.
or my husband, and I called him a roommate till we got married.
And you know
But
what else happened? So the housing market got flooded because people were making such great money on their houses. Everybody would jump in to sell, right? So now not only do you have renters, just renters, you got the homeowners becoming renters because they're waiting
hmm
for the market value to go down before they buy again.
Yeah, my daughter's a renter, but she's also a home. She has property that she rents out. And then
Hmm.
she rents out her little apartment because it's cheaper for her to have a little place for herself than to have a whole duplex.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, because
And
I'm in the
it pays
housing
for
market
itself.
now. I'm in the market for a house now, and then the housing has gone down. But Lord Jesus, these interest rates got me scared. But I said I'm gonna do what I need to do. But then when my dad passed and we went to go sell his house, the market was high, so that was really good for us. You
That
know
was
what I
good.
mean?
Yeah, that was good for you.
Hmm.
Wow. Wow.
It's bad.
It's
It's
just
bad.
so many issues out here that we could tackle, right? But one thing for sure, people losing their ever loving minds, and that's why we have to be careful, ladies. Because people are snakes in the grass now, and everybody's trying to pull a scam. Okay.
That's why I
You're
stay
not
on
lying.
YouTube. That's why I stay on YouTube. I don't be out there in the streets, honey. And when I do go out there, I know who I'm going out with.
Thank you.
Okay, I know
Exactly.
who I'm
I
going
mean,
out with.
I
It's
know my
usually
man. He
family.
go everywhere with me. Like he
Yeah.
don't even allow me to go anywhere at night by myself. Not, I'm
Hmm.
saying just for safety concerns. Like because all it takes for one person to just tick, and they're trying to attack you. People are attacking you for the smallest things now.
And
Like
some of them for nothing.
yeah, that
Some
too.
of them
Hmm.
for nothing.
That too.
You
That
can't
too.
look nobody in the eye. You can't. You just it's
You
you may be
can't
on
go
your
saying you ain't
phone.
never lied.
You just because you don't know what somebody's mind state is at any given time.
Mm.
Seriously, and you have to
The only
remember
time I
everybody
talk,
has been locked up for like a few years. You know what I mean? So that's
the,
going to have an effect on people. It's having an effect on our children, our young people. Their value systems has gone out the window. You know what I mean? Because
I
everybody's
only
a
talk ish to
keyboard
people
gangster.
at work because they have the same thing to lose. I have to lose. If I'm gonna lose, you gonna lose. But you can't be out here fighting with people. They don't have nothing to lose. A lot of these people have nothing to lose,
Hmm.
and they don't even think twice about their actions because they don't think about the fact they have nothing to lose, or if they have anything to lose.
I
And a
know
mama feel like
yesterday.
going to jail is easier.
Oh yeah, that is true. I know though that yesterday I had was talking to my daughter and I was just skimming through social media and I subscribed to one of the pages that do the local crime in the area and it had some business must have had a camera on their building and it videoed some guy snatching a woman into her van and beating her into the van and he picked her up like she was nothing, like she was a pillow and threw her into the van.
That is horrible.
It is, and you could tell he was hitting her inside there. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was telling my
Kidnapping. You gotta be
Mhm.
careful. Like I don't let my daughter go anywhere too much on her own. Cause number one, she's smaller in stature, so like ain't nothing for somebody to run up and just scoop her up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Cause she light and she doesn't look her age. She's 17. She looks like she's a middle schooler. You know what I mean? So,
Well, mine's are 31 and they look like they're in middle school, okay? They do. Nobody thinks they're 30. They get carded everywhere they go. They still look at the oldest they look is might be 20.
And that's good because you know that they let a hold of some life, okay? Because there's some kids out here that ain't live no, and they look like they older than us.
Yeah.
They do, cause they do all the stuff to make them look older, like adding on all them lashes and the makeup makes them
That
look
too,
older.
and then some kids just don't live. Our kids have lived a privileged life because we've taken care of them. Every kid
Yeah.
ain't had that though. They had
Yeah.
to take care of themselves. You know, some of these kids.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to take into consideration their pathology. Their pathology, sometimes they don't even give one an option unless they
Right.
see beyond it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
my kids were privileged. They got mom, they got dad, they got
Right.
step parents that love them. That like they have so much love. I'm like, you guys got extra. They got the grandparents, they got the aunts and uncles. And like I told them, I said, you got to keep your circle close and tight.
You
You
ain't
can't
never
trust just
lied,
anybody.
Sam.
You just
So
can't
we
trust
always used to
anybody.
just hang with my cousins. That was my first set of friends.
Yeah, me too.
They all used to bring all the kids together. You know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until we was adults we started branching off or whatever, but we all always stuck together. We got together
Yeah.
for birthdays
Yeah.
and stuff like that or whatever. But these younger kids now with the technology, they don't even want to get together no more.
Well, we don't have the villages that we had when we were younger either. Because when I was younger, I grew up in New Orleans, and let me tell you, by the time my mama came home from work, I didn't got three butt whippings, and Charles was going to be the fourth because everybody didn't call and told her what we did,
Amen.
and I was the good child.
But
So
the
I
other
really,
thing too is that our parents raised us. I think I'm gonna just tell you what my opinion is. I think there was a shift because with us, we were taught how to do everything. It's a little poem out there, and they said that Roland Martin put it down there, and Generation Z people said that don't mess with us because we are the wrong people to mess with because we were able to cook for ourselves by the age of 7 or 9. We were able to be let in the house after school and took care of ourselves, cleaned the house and got things ready before our parents came home. We did a lot, but I think that what happened was is the people in our generation and thereafter, our parents still were from the civil rights era. Okay. So they fought for everything and they knew what it meant and they knew what it meant to pull your bootstraps up and whatever. But when those people got privileged and was able to give their kids more, they gave them so much more. The kids didn't have to do anything for anything. So they began to believe that everything was due them. They had
yeah, but
entitlement.
some of the basic stuff that we need to that need to imply into us, like voting. A lot of these kids know nothing about voting.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't feel once they felt like us black folks felt like we arrived, we didn't have to put all that in there. My parents did the same to us, and they would make me watch the riots in Detroit. They would make me watch Martin Luther King's things. They would tell me what voting means and this, that, and the other, and how really for us it's not a right, it's a privilege. You know what I mean? Because they can take it away from us at any time. They taught me all of that. You know, I put that on over to my daughter too as well, but not everybody did because now they like, you know, and I can't really blame them because I can understand. They were like, they took a big sigh, you know, like a breath of relief. And like, okay, well, I ain't got to teach you how to do all this because we've arrived now and we've got it. But that ain't the
How old
truth.
is your daughter, Kim?
She 36. I had to think about it.
Okay, because you got to remember some of these kids are now crack babies. These are the crack
Oh
babies
yeah,
that are
that's
being
true.
that are adults. The crack mamas that are the grandmothers that are now
Hmm.
clean. It's a whole. We've got a couple of decades of stuff that we're trying to clean up while we go.
Yeah, because they put all them drugs in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now them crack babies are adults if they made it, and hopefully they're in their right mind, or the dope dealers' kids that now their parents are in jail and they trying to make it, and they
The
out here doing what their
grandparents raising
parents was
those
doing,
kids, and they can't
huh?
keep up. I
They
say
can't keep up.
you got the
Now you got
grandparents raising the grandkids, and they can't keep up with the grandkids with the technology. All right, so then they
Right.
the it's this a whole ongoing cycle, and then you also have to deal with the fact that they have access to so much now. You have to
and
deal with
marijuana is
the I
now
know
legal. You can
factor.
go and buy it at the store. You ain't got to sell it on the street and go get put in jail. So that's another hustle that's been taken away from them. They can't be selling weed out there on the street. You can just go to the shop and buy it.
Exactly.
That's
But
true.
I wasn't still like we were brought up to work. I've been working from when I was 14. Like these kids don't even want to work.
Oh no, I was working since I was 14 too.
Yeah, like
I
that's
tried
like
to
you
work at
have to
14.
provide for yourself. That was instilled in me early, and now this generation they're very entitled. I mean, I thank God both my kids have jobs or whatever, but that's because I cut the cord. Like, if you want all these laps of luxuries, you have to begin to earn it.
Yeah, well, they knew the rules. They knew the rules when they got into it. I said, look, your first 2 years of college, I want you to get acclimated to it. I want you to get a job, and then by your third year, you should be on your own. The first 2 years, I got you.
I know, right? Because I had to do well. My daughter, she had to start working in the beginning, but was one job that was too hard for her. I told her she didn't have to work that kind of job. She was working in the laundry or something. I said, I didn't tell you to do that. I said you could do tutoring or whatever, or be an RA or something like that, and whatever. But she had to do a little bit of something to get. But she made it happen. And as time went on, she was able to do little lightweight jobs. And then for her master's degree, she had gotten she got a GA, so that was good. So graduation assistantship. So then they paid her for that, and they paid her all her school tuition. And just so happened, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, now, this may sound like I'm a bad mama, but she was a super senior for undergrad, and I told
Ain't
her,
nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. My
but no,
daughter
that
was
ain't what
super.
I was gonna tell you. That meant there was 5 years of me helping her. So when she said that she needed to get a master's degree for her career, I told her, you on your own, okay? Because I'm tired, okay? I said I work 2 jobs, I'm tired. So then when she got the graduate assistantship, and then some guy from University of Michigan, he was graduating in her same field, was looking for somebody to donate his books to. He donated her all his books. So I said, well, this must be God saying I need to help this child out a little bit.
That's just God letting you know you off the hook. I got you. You
Well,
have
guess
worked
what?
hard. You
That's
have
what
worked hard.
the Caucasian parents do. They help their kids just like you did. They even buy their way into stuff. Okay, so I don't see no harm.
How about some parents don't do nothing? Some
Exactly.
parents don't do nothing.
I'd rather you do too much than nothing at all, and then the child is just lost out here.
No, some parents don't do nothing. You did a lot, Kim, and I'm sure your daughter appreciates it all.
Oh, she does, but yeah. And then it was just a lot because her daddy wasn't a participatory parent, and I had just got tired because I was like, shit, I did 18, then plus 5, and then I got to do some more.
Exactly, it never ends.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I got you beat there. Daddy participated, but like I said, when I raised those kids, I raised him too. Like whatever I do, you gonna do for these kids. Ain't nothing I'm gonna know about these kids you ain't gonna know, okay?
Look, Kim,
Nothing.
it started out that way.
I did.
I
I
know.
did from the gate because he had 3 kids before we got together, so he should have been
Okay.
very good at this,
Oh
And I
yeah.
was coming into the game, so if I put both my feet, I need you to put both your feet in because you now have 6 kids, not just 3.
Amen.
But
And
then
the queen to take care of. Okay, don't forget the queen.
and then my next husband came along. He already had 3 kids. My first husband had a boy and 2 girls. I with him had a boy and 2 girls, and my next husband had a boy and 2 girls when we got together.
Oh wow.
Yep, a boy and 2 girls, the same combination, and they're both the same kind of daddy. So I'm good.
Oh, that was good. Now
Mhm.
mine is he is what you call that? Remorseful because she don't even talk to him anymore at all. And so now he's remorseful. So now before he used to tell me that I wasn't, because really what he did is he was so mad at me, he took it out on my kid, right? So then afterwards, then he went to me, well, can you have Jessica call me? I'm like, nigga, don't put me in that shit now, okay?
You call her and beg her to call you.
That's right. I told him, I said, she's a grown woman. I don't have any jurisdiction over her.
She a grown woman too? Oh no, that's
Yeah,
your
because she's
job.
36. I mean, she's 36. She
Yeah,
taking care of herself down there in California all by herself, okay? And so I don't know what to tell him. I said, but the only thing I can tell you, I said, I hate to do it, but I told you this. I predicted this. And I said, and what this is called, and what you find yourself, the quandary you find yourself in, dear sir, is called a little too late.
Amen. I had the same conversations, and he's been cut off. Like, she just uses her dad as a ATM machine, basically. Like, she's like, he's not here.
He earned that right. He earned that right.
I wish my daughter would do that, but she is so prideful. She wouldn't even do that because I would be pissed off. I'm like, girl, you know you need this. I'm not calling him. I'm not. I'll just go without. Like, oh my God, you know. And then as she got older, I understood. But like, she had told him one time when he had called her when their thirst fell out, and she stopped talking to him. I never knew I would witness it. And basically, she just told him. She says, I mean, he said, well, when are you leaving to go back to school? She says, I decided to stay here another month to be with mom. He says, well, I'd like to see you. She said, no, that's okay. He says, no, I want to see you. She says, no, you don't understand. She says, I'm saying to you, that's okay. She says, because I don't want to see you. He said, well, I'm your father. What do you mean? She says, because I'm done. She says, I'm done trying to make you love me. He said, well, you don't understand. So I'm you, my daughter. She says, no, but it's about exhibition. And you don't exhibit that. She says, and he said,
for 35 years, and now?
Right. And he said, well, I'm not going to go in the past. She said, and that's another problem. She says, because if you don't want to discuss what's wrong and what you've done in the past, and that means you're destined to create the same problem and do the same thing over and over. He's like, well, I don't know what you mean. He said, I used to come and get you. She said, yeah, you used to come and get me. You would drop me right off at your dad's house and go and do what you needed to do and not pick me up till it's time to take me home. She says, I want you to understand that you designed this relationship. So don't be mad now that it's come full circle and you see what it is. You know, you got to deal with it. She says, and other than that, I don't want her to talk to you anymore. And don't call me. So he still call her all the time, but she got him on some kind of little program where she don't get to call. So I mean, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's true, you know. But he's hurt her desperately, you know. She had gained a little bit of. He was just mean. She had gained a little bit of weight in school because my mother was taking care of her. And my mom would just love to feed her, right? And he picked her up from school, and then one day she told me he wouldn't feed her because he told her she was too fat. Okay.
Not
girl,
yeah.
Yourself, coochie to yourself, and all the rest. And make sure he deserves it and everything. But now people are so free with themselves and everything, and they're still letting people ride them and do whatever. They ain't even got to be a good dude, you know, because everybody's sexual freedom. Yeah, what you call it?
The fluent culture, the sex positive culture.
Yeah, okay? But everybody's just doing it and doing it.
Earn it.
Right, but and then not only that, they make sex like it's a
it's a sport.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Play.
Like it's a sport.
Yeah,
there you go.
Tag
that's
me in.
what it is. And now like no responsibilities that come along with it, because if you having sex and everything, you know, the bottom line is that it's a consequence to that shit.
Mm-hmm. And the uterus wants to be pregnant, okay? The uterus wants to be pregnant. Seriously.
It does.
And then you go out here, you make a baby with somebody you barely know. And they always say, mama's baby, papa's maybe. That's what you get in those situations. And they get to play the maybe game. Because I don't know if that's my kid. So that's the excuse for not being around for the pregnancy, okay?
That's why I warned mine. I said, before you even lay down with the brother, ask yourself, if it happens, will he be there? Can he be there? Is he the one? You got to ask yourself all these questions before you drop your drawers. If he ain't the one, keep it pushing.
Is he financially secure? Can he take care of himself? Let alone
my daughters are financially secure on their own, so they don't need, but they have to know in order to have a child, it takes two. And you're not going to go intentionally try to raise a kid by yourself. One of my daughters is, but the other one is not. So therefore, you got to know before you lay down, Because I know I did. Now, if this didn't work out, and it didn't, but he's still there.
But
You know
ladies,
what I'm
Right.
can
saying?
I ask you this? I really feel like women have lost their value. They stop requiring the commitment. They're okay with being baby mamas. Like that is a career now.
It's the parenting and the support and the village. Some of them are
Mhm.
out there in that world, or some of them in this. They think they live in the Hollywood world, and they're doing what these Hollywood women are doing, and it's
Mhm.
not for everybody. Nothing is for everybody.
Yeah, but
Well,
people
I'm gonna
forgot
say this
that.
too.
People forgot that
I'm
white
gonna
women
say
get
this.
married.
I'm gonna say this though. It is also, I believe that it is a raising because I know my aunts and them and my mom and them, they would always tell us how beautiful we were and how pretty we were. And then one day my cousin said, because me and her were the same age, and she was like, Auntie, why y'all keep telling us that? We know we're cute, but we are not that pretty. And so my auntie was like, you damn straight you're not, okay? She said, but I'm gonna tell you, she said, I'm gonna tell you why we tell you that. She said, because we want you to look in the motherfucking mirror, and this is exactly what she said. We want you to look in the motherfucking mirror and know that you're pretty. So when a motherfucker come your way and tell you pretty, you don't be dropping them damn panties, okay?
Okay,
You gonna tell that
okay,
motherfucker, tell
amen.
me something I don't know. Okay. She
Okay,
said, and
and
what
I
that means is that they got to come with something different. They got to come
mm-hmm,
with substance. Okay. So that's the
mm-hmm.
other thing. People they have you have to put self-worth in your into your children. And then these women have to understand that they worth more than that. And you gotta want more in life. Because I could have had sit up here and had 6, 7, 8 kids, but I only had one. Okay. And especially when I knew that I was, because I knew after I had her, that I was going to be divorced. Okay. Because I wasn't going to stay with him. I just knew that. But I could have
And
had
it's
more.
okay. You knew, and you did what you had to do. You didn't have no
Right.
more.
So, but I value myself. Just like I was talking to Cindy the other day, we were talking about dating and stuff. I said, listen, I can have a man anytime I want. If I want a pair of britches, I could get a pair of britches. After they come in my DM and everything else. I said young and old, but that is not the thing. They come with that same stuff. Good morning, beautiful. Grand rising, beautiful. Good afternoon, beautiful. How are you, beautiful? Don't nobody feel like hearing that, one. And then the other is that come with some conversation. Okay.
Mhm.
And nobody wants to be vulnerable no more. Nobody wants to be real. So I'm looking for somebody to step to me that is real and that you can tell that they're authentic and they
Mhm.
don't mind being transparent. And it's scary to be vulnerable because it's scary for me to be vulnerable. But the thing about it is that I ain't getting ready to take less than, okay?
That's right. That's
And you
right.
shouldn't never settle. And that's
You
where I
shouldn't.
think a lot of women get it messed up. They settle and they get caught up on the dream instead of looking at the reality. And it's okay to walk away from somebody if they're not on your same level. You have to be evenly yoked for it to be a successful relationship. It starts there.
Was
And
not
then,
okay for
Nadi,
you to stay. Was not
and but
okay for you to stay. Okay,
that's
that's
right.
not
But the other
okay.
thing too is I think if they don't settle, if more women would not settle and not give in, then these dudes would know they'd have to step their game up. Okay.
Mhm. Absolutely.
But people too
Absolutely.
easy now. They just too easy. They just like Sin said, it's like a sport. They just open up their legs. And that's it. I ain't getting ready to do all that. Okay. For
Mm-hmm.
one, I don't know where nobody coming from. There's too much shit out here nowadays. I'm
But
scared.
that too, and they know that the dudes are community D. They out in the open saying it. Okay, so what makes you think if you lay down with him, he's all of a sudden going to change? And I think that's the misconception. A lot of these girls think they pee is the shit that the motherfucker gonna
Mm-hmm.
magically get up and be like, "Oh, I want to be faithful."
I'ma change
Right.
him. I'ma change him. I'm the one. Okay.
What makes you
You
so
know,
special for all the? You just a hole for
I
him
was just
to
about to say because
enter
it's just a
into.
hole, honey. They could buy that in the can if they really want to,
And
and
that's
not
what
do
I
it to
say
at
too. I
all.
say D ain't nothing but a pole and P ain't nothing but a hole. Okay.
Look, I
That's
got
what
my
I told
nephews.
my daughter.
I
Go
got
ahead.
my nephews this can from Adam and Eve. It's a can. It's called the pea in the can. And I did. That way they can, because kids when they're younger, see a lot of the parents don't talk to their kids about that kind of stuff. So when it naturally happens, they don't know what to do with it. So they're talking to their friends instead of talking to their loved ones, and so their loved ones could guide them through the next step of puberty. So they out there practicing in the streets or their friends will tell them you gotta do this or you need to do that, or get with an older woman or older woman come around and molest your son or daughter. You know what I'm saying? Kids are being molested because they're not being guided at home
They're
about
not
their
being
bodies.
educated.
Exactly.
Because I know from when my girls first became women, we had open conversations about it. It was no shame because my mom was that generation where don't ask, don't tell. You had to figure it out yourself. And I vowed that I would not do that with my girls. I wanted to be open with them about what's really out here. I mean,
And
if you
that's
don't
why we
educate,
making changes. That's how we make changes. We one of us got to do it. Each one teach one.
Yeah, amen.
and I'd rather my girls be prepared
Mm-hmm.
prepared.
Look,
Sorry.
our daughters can hang out right now and possibly be on the same page because of
Mm-hmm.
the way they were raised.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you can't say that about everybody. And that's why their friendship, they have very small circles themselves. They don't have no friends. Most of their friends are their relatives.
And my girls to this day, they're not street kids. Like they
Mm-mm.
always wanted their friends to come over. It was never them wanting to go to the friend's house and spend the night too much or whatever. Cause that's like they already know that's a whole intel in itself. Cause I need to know who live in the home, who work, who you know what I'm saying? I need the whole family structure in order for you to go there. So they just used to tell their friends to come over.
You're
And
right.
that's cool because my mom wouldn't let us go to nobody's house
Yeah.
unless it was the godmothers and stuff like that. So that's a step up. You know, let me have the
Amen.
information
I
I
just
need to
made it
have.
so strenuous where they just like, Ma, well, can such and such come over for a sleepover? I'd rather
Yeah. That way you see what's
Mhm.
happening. And you can hear all their little goofy talk. Because I love to hear them kids talk outside their parents' ears. I
yeah,
be
because I'm the
listening to
type like I
everything.
need to come in your house. I need to see where my child's sleeping. I need to know where her room is positioned and adjacent to your room because I don't need her exposed to any adult things while she's in your home. Okay.
But you're absolutely right because I know my daughter went to KDA with the same girl. She went to private school, okay? But so we knew all the girls, okay? So they all had a little hotel birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, one time my daughter came back home and she said that the lady who one of her girlfriends, her mother was there and they had a room for the girls and the mama had a room, brought her boyfriend up there, talking about how they were smooching and stuff in the hot tub, and then the adjacent room, what do you call that room? What do they call that room? You know the room when you can go in and out. The
Yeah, adjacent
room you
room.
got a door between the two doors. That she had
Mm-hmm.
left it cracked and they could see them doing it in there.
See,
Yes.
Oh my.
my kid, she
I
should
said, never again will you ever go with them. Ever again.
because you don't know what's
That,
appropriate for a kid's hotel party and what's
uh-uh.
not.
I
Oh,
got
what do you
mad
like?
with
You and your
another
man
woman
can't
called
be
my.
apart from you and your man can't be apart from each other that long. Come on now.
And who's
Okay,
watching
yeah.
the kids? Who's watching the kids?
Nobody was. She told us that they was all over the place. So anybody could have snatched him up or anything. Oh my God, I was so upset. And then you just don't know after he laid her out how you know he may not be coming back to the kids. Because some of these people will do that.
I'm back. I'm back. That was my work phone. You know how that go.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, but you don't know if these people are double back to the kids. You know these guys you're bringing around them.
Look at all the creeps coming out in Hollywood right now, and there's more to come. Okay, Hollywood is wearing its ugly head, and Trey Songz is next up on the chopping block. Okay, remember I
What
told
happened to
you.
Trey Songz?
All these women are coming out with allegations. See, all these years he's been able to kind of keep it quiet because he was settling quietly in court. But now
Mm-hmm.
it's getting beyond that point. I think what they're doing is just like R. Kelly. They trying to drain the swamp, drain all the money, and then they're going to hit him with the loss. They're going to come with the charges. Like they did R. Kelly. Just like they did
Yeah.
R. Kelly. And the other person that's up on the chopping block, Charlemagne, the God. Creeper.
No.
Yes, lawsuit.
I didn't know that.
Yes. New York lawsuit. You know, New York just dropped that Adult Survivors Act.
No.
Yes, they dropped the Adult Survivors Act where they removed the statute of limitation for 1 year. And all these cases are coming out. Bill Cosby, Charlemagne the God, because they all fall under. Now, Charlemagne messed up, all right, because he caught a R-word charge and pleaded down, right? He pleaded down or whatever. Here's what he's messed up, because people started doing digging and finding his charges. He started talking about it on the radio, the incident, calling the girl a groupie. Then he put it in his book. Then he had show panels about it. So the girl got tired and said, enough. So she brought a lawsuit against iHeartRadio and Charlemagne under the Adult Survivors Act, because at the time he was going back and forth between South Carolina and New York. So it fell in jurisdiction.
I'll be ding dong.
Yes, it's coming. The day of reckoning is coming for all these pedos out here in the world, okay?
Yes.
And the day of you guys getting away with the R word is over, because Charlemagne could have kept his mouth closed.
He sure could have.
But you
He
kept
sure could have.
taunting her on public platforms.
Oh, and that's what he got.
Yep. And now she going for the big money, because she done included iHeartRadio. So what you think iHeartRadio going to do?
They're gonna put. If I was them, I put him up out there.
Exactly. Like, you ain't worth it, bro.
No. And they got way more money than he do.
Exactly. So this what happens when these pedos, they play in your face. They play in plain sight, just like R. Kelly did for years, and just like Bill Cosby did for years. Okay? They play in your face, and your day of reckoning is coming. It is. And see, a lot of the laws protected them. Unfortunately, this country laws protects predators.
They do.
That's just
they do. And especially predators that got the complexion for protection. Because now some of them other ones, though, they'll live out there. Like, that's why R. Kelly serving his time, while Bill Cosby got all caught up, and why Charlemagne may indeed get caught up himself.
Yep. And Charlemagne's situation was the same thing. Like, he drugged the girl, and his friends gang R-word her first, and he finished the job.
Oh my God.
And I always thought he was a creep.
He looked like a creep.
Yes, by the things he used to say. I thought he was a creep when Wendy Williams was hazing him on BLS.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something else too. Some of these people got the God complex, and then I always thought he did because the name that he put on himself, the God. And when people who have the God complex, they feel like they're untouchable. They can say anything, they can do anything, because nary a hurt, harm, or danger is going to come to them, because they're God, they're deity, and they have ordained themselves in that in their mind. So they don't think no harm going. That's why he felt that he could just, be so bold and talk about it, because no harm was going to come from, because they really think they're untouchable. But everybody can get a turn. Everybody gets a turn.
And you know how this system works. They'll slow walk you.
Oh, they sure will.
The man will slow walk you. Like, we'll get him later when his money is low and he doesn't have a defense.
Right.
Yeah.
They know how to get you.
She said, we are going to be surprised in 2023 how many celebrities are going to be brought up on charges from the past. Exactly. When they created that Adult Survivors Act, they said it. They said the floodgates are open. They told all the victims to come forward. I know about this because I know someone that's directly affected by that act, and they contacted her, and they also want her to sue the larger company that she worked for as well.
Oh, wow.
With that. So it means a lot to me that this is happening for people, and people are finally able to get justice. Like, these men are no longer going to be able to use their celebrity and their money as power to hold over.
So basically what these people are doing now is they taking the casting couch and throwing it in the dumpster. Because that's how all that stuff happened, in the casting couch. And, if you want to be somewhere, if you want me to help you out, then you got to do this, that, and the other for me, and this, that, and the other. But now to the point where they don't even try to let them know. They just do it by force, by just, basically giving them a Mickey,
Yep. Basically taking all their choices away. So
Yes.
I love it. Hey, Aaron. Hey, welcome.
Hi, Aaron.
Yeah, so I can't wait. 2023 is going to bring out all the creeps. And that's why I think Chris Brown is working so hard to keep his image pure, because he don't want to get caught up.
Yeah, I don't want him to get caught up either, because I know what he did to Rihanna and everything else, but I do like that young man.
I do too. I think Chris is very creative and talented. I think Chris was a victim of having to grow up in front of the world, because he had pain at such an early age. He also is a victim of his pathology. He watched his mom get abused. Okay, so he's desensitized from it. He never got help from it, so he doesn't even have emotional management skills to deal with certain situations.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm sure he thinks of things differently now that he's a father. I feel like the world should forgive him. He should not have to suffer his whole career, because he still managed to hang on. The boy stayed on the radio. Say what you want.
Yeah.
He stayed consistent with his music. Haven't fell off once.
No, they didn't. And it's odd because how he was able, because the physical damage that they showed when they showed Rihanna and everything, compared to I gotta say, because I do love Will too. When he slapped Chris, it's funny how things are different. You know what I mean? Because they don't want to, people still don't want to mess with Will. They are really upset with that. But it's funny though how, I shouldn't say funny, that goes to show the disparity between men and women, how men can do certain things to women, and it's looked at one way, and they do something to a man and it's looked at a different way. You know what I mean?
The double standard, Kim.
That's it.
What we got to get rid of. Men can run around and bad hop, and it's glorified. Let a woman do it. She is slut shamed, like Megan.
Oh, but I'm so glad they took care of all that stuff with her.
I am too.
I love that girl.
And I know she is suffering. I stick by this. I really think, because Megan had lost like her grandmother and her mother back to back.
Yeah.
I think the girl was grieving. That's where Hot Girl Summer came from.
Oh, really?
And I think she was looking for love in all the wrong places, because she lost her family, her baby.
Yeah.
You understand? And she probably never thought it would get to this point. But what does her sex life and who she lay with have to do with her being shot in the foot?
I know. And then they said, come to find out, they beat her too.
Yeah, they jumped her.
That awful.
To me, I felt what I was shocked about, because I didn't feel like the prosecution did a very good job. If anything, I felt like there was doubt where Kelsey could have did it as well. I felt like it could have been out of her and Tori. You know what I mean? And then for her to go there and go to complete opposite, it's just like, girl, whose side are you really on? Okay,
yes.
What is going on? Okay, and then they gave her immunity because she could possibly incriminate herself. That tells me you was handling the gun too. That's all that say. But I was surprised. He got the appeal option. Hey, Vernice, she said grief will make you do some crazy things. Absolutely, it will.
It will.
Understand, the grief process can last for years.
I know.
If you don't get help with it early, it will last for years, because it will be triggers in you that can just reignite that hurt over and over again if you don't get the proper help to move through that grief in a healthy way. And she probably was drinking and smoking and things like that, and with all the wrong people that did not have any good intentions for her. It was all about come out because she was the hottest thing at the time.
That's true. And everybody wanted to be around her.
Exactly. But now the daddy out here screaming, talk about it's Rock Nation fault. It's a setup and this and that and the other. Sir, have several feet.
Yeah, he was crazy. Well,
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Let's talk about your son walking around attacking people, August Alistine.
Yes, and then trying to shoot at that girl and everything like that. Who does that?
Okay, so I mean, how long? I don't know how y'all do it in Canada, sir, but in America, we got law and order, and especially
Yes.
your son is black. You should have prepped on how he should conduct himself in America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he wouldn't get hemmed up, but he's hemmed up now.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope he saves his money for his appeal because it's gonna be a long process. It's gonna be.
So how much you think they're gonna give him? How long you think they're gonna give him?
You know, that's interesting. You know, I think he at least facing half of that time because he's facing up to 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then also deportation.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's going to get deported after he serves his time here.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to let him do a nice little chunk, and they're going to ship his little leprechaun behind back up the Canada. They're going to make an example. Hey, Curves.
Hey, what's
They
good?
need to make an
Naughty?
example.
What's good, Naughty crew?
Hey, Curves. Welcome.
Happy Kwanzaa Day too.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Thank you. What we talking about? I just saw you was
We
on.
up here talking a little bit about the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez verdict and everything, and we're talking about like the sex positive culture of our young people and how they do not have any family values anymore. We're raising kids as single mothers, so we got into a variety of things. So sounds off.
Well, Trey, if he did it, should go. I don't know why everybody. Sorry, I was eating lunch. I don't know why everybody's panties are in such a bunch. A woman got shot. He said he was sorry. The evidence points towards him. You don't need DNA for like basically a shooting like this. It wasn't a full-on, unalived. So you don't need the DNA. Everybody's like, oh, there was no DNA. They've been watching too much CSI. They don't need that to convict Negroes. When have they ever needed DNA to convict a Negro?
Never. They ain't even have fingerprints.
Right. And so for all these people to be up in arms that, oh, the process was this, we never get a freaking process.
Never.
And not to mention that Megan needs justice. Something happened. And like I said, if Kelsey did, or whatever that girl's name is, if her friend really did do something, then they went after who they wanted. They let her turn on him because they wanted him. It's not about Megan. It's not about justice for Megan. It's about who the state felt like picking up charges on that day, and they felt like it was his turn. And hey, the other part of the story is, look, once you get to be a millionaire and you can get on a private jet, maybe you shouldn't just go around and free balling with guns. Like, I don't understand.
But are they going to get that girl Kelsey?
You know what? They might pull a Bill Cosby, right? So she already has an immunity deal wherever she said anything she said couldn't be used against her. But
I thought they said that at certain things she would not say anything like against that Tory, and because she didn't cooperate on certain things, they were thinking about reconsidering it.
Well, I didn't know that's the way that it worked with immunity. You usually get a piece of paper that you signed off that, hey, this, and this is forgiven. Now, whether or not she followed through on her part, she did.
Right. That's the only thing I think I'm wondering is, did she follow through? Because you're right about the immunity, but you got to cooperate though too, right?
She did. She showed up. She answered some questions.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she did her part, and whatever her lawyer probably advised her to do her part, which was show up and make yourself available for this process and answer as many questions as possible.
Okay.
And so I don't feel like they should circle back to her, or else they're gonna have all the freaking informants in the world second guess signing on the dotted line before they get Bill Cosby. Because Bill Cosby had made a whole freaking deal. Nothing he said was supposed to be used against him. Then they got another DA that was like, forget that. That other guy made the deal, not me. And went back on their word. When it's supposed to be that office is supposed to keep their word, not that dude. You know what I mean?
I got you now.
Yeah. So, and then on, what was the other thing? Single moms, provocateurs. all of that stuff. Like, I love Amber Rose, you guys. I love how she is unabashedly into her yoni sphere. I love that she owns it. She owns all her, what we you'd usually call the walk of shame. She owns it. It's her glory light. And I feel like actually more women need to let go of like freaking the bonds that tie them and get into their femininity, into their sex appeal, into their yoni power. I mean, we literally have power between our legs. And as long as you're using it as a power source and not a power tool, I guess it's okay with me. As long as nobody's getting talked out of panties or talked into being a baby daddy, I feel like as long as you're a consenting adult, if you feel like being free and loose with your willy, then go ahead. There's a lot more to life to worry about than who somebody else is doing to me anyway. You know what I mean? But I love Amber Rose went in on that dude. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. What had happened?
Oh my God. She was on a show. I'll try to send it to Naughty. She was on a like radio show, and a dude was like, yeah, when a girl shakes her butt on the thing for $2,000, she doesn't know what she's doing because she could have made $10 million. And she was like, you just need to stay out of women's business. Like, why are you concerned with how she makes her money? Well, I'm just saying that is stupid because she could have made more money. She's like, but that's her choice. Why are you in women's business? Like, she went, it was hilarious. I'm going to try to send it to you, Naughty. Let me find it. It was hilarious. But
That's
she was
good.
like, forget this. These men trying to check women for how they make money, but they're not coming up off of no dollars.
Amen.
So that's pretty much where I am. Did I catch up good?
Yep, I think you caught up good.
Okay.
But we were also saying that too, that even though women's freedom, we were also saying that causes the breakdown of a lot of relationships too, and causes a lot of these kids out here. Because even though, yeah, you know, you should be free with your sexuality and all the rest of that, but then there's some consequences because, you know, one of the things is that, you know, for everything is the cause and effect. Right. And that's pregnancy. And when people are just doing it willy-nilly out here, sometimes they're leaving kids in the wake of it, you know?
Right. That's true. And the kids are innocent bystanders from like a moment of passion.
Yeah.
Or 60 seconds of fun.
Yeah. Now you're going to get some guys mad at you.
I know, right? Well, hey, it's amazing how it only takes a second. It literally only takes a second. But yeah, well, I feel like that's a two-prong attack. So we're in charge of our bodies, our rights, right? So if you're gonna be free willy with all your parts, then it's your personal responsibility and accountability to ensure your safety at every turn or bend. You know what I'm saying? So
indeed.
If you are being loose willy, then make sure it's strapped on. Like every position these days, you got to check for these dudes. Like, because sometimes they'll flip you from the front to the back and pull it off. Yeah. You need to be looking back and doing a check all the time. You know, because there are a lot of dishonest people, but just be as careful as you can and be as responsible as you can. And, you know, don't be afraid to call your partners out if they're trying to do something that you didn't agree to, as far as like not protecting you.
I hear you guys. I'm back. I'm so sorry I had a talker. Okay.
Oh, it's all good.
No problem, baby.
Wouldn't let me off.
It's all good.
So I hear you guys talking about partners.
Yeah, we were talking about remember earlier, Natty, when you were talking about that, even though people they're sexually free, but they're leaving children in the wake. You know what I mean?
Spreading their seed, being irresponsible with their seed.
Right, that's what you said.
So yeah, it's an epidemic now because people are having sex for sport and not for family foundation, and women are okay with being baby mamas and not wives. Okay, not saying there's something wrong against the single mother, but you need a 2-parent household So that, because we were discussing earlier how both little girls and little boys, how disappointed they are when the one parent is missing from their life, whether it be the male parental.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, that happens. And like we were saying when you were gone, like 60 seconds of an encounter can determine whether or not a child is here. And that's why personal accountability in all of these situations. If you're going to be swinging a willy, wrap it up. If you're going to be the receiver of a willy, you have to check and make sure that thing is on. You literally have to check these days. And so, I mean, have fun, just be responsible and accountable to yourself first and to your partners also.
And don't fool yourself. Accept the situation for what it is. Now, if you choose to get in a one night situation, you cannot fool yourself in thinking that that's going to turn into something permanent. Like, let me tell you something. A man, if he wants you and wants to be with you, and even for a female, they're going to choose you and they're going to make it clear. Okay, if they want you just for that night, they're going to make that clear too. So do not fool yourself thinking that your pee is the magic pee that's going to magically change this man into a loyal man.
Right.
Because you bed him for 5 minutes one night.
Or that your pee is a mind bender and can make him change his mind.
Yes, I love that.
Because that's what I think a lot of these girls think they do so good, but it come a dime a dozen, ladies. These girls don't care now.
Right. They don't.
They don't care. They don't even require nothing. Not even a dinner, nothing. You just gotta get them nice and inebriated, and they good.
Right. I know. And see, like that's back to our Christian rock conversation, right? Like, where's her self-worth? Where's her self-love? Like, all these things they do start in a single household or a two-parent household. People can just end up messed up, and so knowing that you're worthy, encouraging self-worth and all of that.
Exactly. I
can
want
really
to
be helpful
on that. Like how women can recognize and require a man to be faithful.
Right.
Respect them and to honor them.
Yeah, it's a requirement. It has to be a requirement of yourself first, though. Like, self-discipline is the highest form of self-love, right?
Yes.
So we have to be disciplined in our approach to loving ourselves and affirming our worthiness. And it's not just like by accident awesome ladies are created. Like, it takes work to be awesome in this world, you know?
That's so true.
It's unfortunate though. Like, I mean, there was a time, but it's phases too. It's phases, and
what
we
you
all
mean?
work out of it. Like, it's phases. So when you're young, you think that that's what matters.
Oh,
you
yes.
think that, oh, sex is it, and if I'm sexing, then he'll be with me. And if I'm sexy, then I'm worthy, and all this stuff. And it takes an evolution of your mind to understand that you're more than what society says you are. You're more than what's between your legs. You're more than your job. You're more than your clothes. Like, all of that stuff is just, those are just accoutrements to make you better. Like, they just enhance what you already have going on, but you have to have something going on.
And I always say, Curtis, if you can stimulate my mind, everything else will follow suit.
Amen.
Yes. And that comes with age too. Like, I bet you didn't start off like that. You might have started off like,
I was a wild one.
You know what I'm
me
saying?
too.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's an evolution. It comes through phases.
Yeah,
and,
you're
like,
right. Because now I know what you mean, because I thought I was so sexy. My daddy had to chase me out the house with my bra. Put your bra on, Kim.
Yeah. And then that's the other part. Like, we think we know things, and our parents or our caregivers, our guardians offered us, like, information and advice that we thought we knew things, and we didn't have to take that. They don't know what they're talking about. That's not me. And the whole time it was just like pearls they were trying to save us from. Yes, perhaps. But we have to go through those to decide that, yes, you are worthy. Yes, I don't have to be a SLUT, Or you can be a SLUT and own it and be accountable for your body. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, there's more and more women coming forward with being comfortable saying that they are SLUT.
And that I feel like is more of a fad too, because doesn't it sound cool to be able to tell a guy, well, I don't care if we are together or not. We can just, hit it and quit it. And because that's kind of what guys need to hear in order for you to even get in the door sometimes. But you're only playing yourself if you rely on that. Like, you really have to be honest with yourself and that person about what do you truly expect and what do you truly want. You can't be mad. Like, if you start off with, oh yeah, we just knocking buddies and da da da, and then get mad that he was knocking somebody else. You can't. You just made yourself crazy.
You can't.
And then you can't go back on that either, because everything starts off as a dance. So how you start off is usually how you end up.
Yeah,
Because just like you say, they do want to do that to get in the door, and then they think that, like you said, they got that mind bending P, and then that's going to help.
Yeah.
And then their feelings get hurt because they realize that no, now you can't. It is no switching back.
Right. Exactly.
And I tell
and they'll tell you that when it
all
comes,
the time,
they might
men
mess
will
with you
tell
for like
you anything to get into your pants. Men will tell you anything. They will tell you I love you. They will tell you they'll take you.
Oh, they will gaslight you up the yin yang.
And that's what Krishan Rock is doing. She's seeing it now. And she's actually saying it out loud on her lives. Like, you keep gaslighting me. You keep gaslighting me. Girl, the world has been trying to tell you.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, nobody wants to hear it until they do. My daddy told me once, baby, a man will fuck a snake if somebody will hold the head. He told me that. And I didn't really understand, because I was like, but there's poisonous in their fangs. So I was like around 12 when he told me that.
Right.
But he had to just get me to the place where I understood, look, they're going to say anything. So he started off with that for our sex talk. That's what my dad had said.
Oh, that is good. That's good one.
My daddy told me you should have a man to take you to a movie. You should have a man to take you shopping. You should have a man. That's how my daddy taught me. He was a pimp.
That's hilarious.
I knew better though.
That is hilarious.
You're supposed to have a whole lineup.
I heard that.
You have choices or whatever. I get the idea of it, but he was talking about dating, like dating. People
right.
Don't really date. They date to have sex, not to date to get to know a person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This person is a good fit for my
right.
life. Like, you have to vet people, and it takes more than 24 hours to get to know people.
Right. Much longer.
Or whatever. So, I mean, these girls nowadays, I feel like they have a very skewed view of what a relationship should look like. And they're putting too much value of their pee into materialistic things.
Definitely. And then, maybe all of this stuff too happens because how can you have a real relationship when everything on you is fake? Your hair is fake, your boobs are fake, your freaking nails are fake. But you want a real man in a real relationship, but you're presenting all fake, all plastic.
That's a good one.
That is a good one because I've been noticing people men in particular giving their consensus on all the builder bodies out here. They prefer natural. They prefer natural.
They actually do. They do prefer natural, but they aesthetically, all it takes is men to look to be aroused. So they like natural, but aesthetically, it's still pleasing to see the plastic bodies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They'll never wife you. Look at all it. Look, Black China, right?
Yep.
Always had to play tricks and games to get into relationships. Okay, it was
right.
always a clout chase. It wasn't really about love. She's a single mother, barely taking care of her kids. Okay. You also have Black China. Oh, Johnny Blaze from Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta. Okay, Bow Wow's ex. She's always crying on the gram, talking about she's pregnant for this one. And they turn around and they slut shame her. Oh, I ain't never been in a relationship with you. But what do you expect if all you put out on the gram is cheeks?
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How will
yeah.
anyone ever take you seriously or respect you? Not saying that that's right. It's not right. You shouldn't be judged. But if you're putting that energy out, people are looking at you in a sexual way.
Right.
People are gonna latch on to you just because. Like, okay, this looks easy.
Yep. I feel like we just need a huge we need to start a movement of self-love among the melanated queens of the universe.
Exactly.
And just like only move within self-love. Like, and then the way you present will be the way that it is. And then you won't tolerate anything less than what you're giving yourself.
Aaron D says, very true. Fake attracts fake. Bernice, she says, it's an illusion. America is smoke and mirrors. Period.
Smoke and mirrors. Oh my God.
Period.
I love that.
Smoke and mirrors. The sooner everyone realizes it, the better off the world would be.
Yeah.
It's all about the image you could portray now. I remember when I went to Jamaica back in the day, one of my first trips out of the country, and everyone there is like, oh, I can't wait to come to America. I love America. You guys. And I'm looking at these people like, what America are they seeing? Because I be busting my ass. I got to work hard just to get this trip. I don't think they realize how hard it is. We have to work here to earn our dollars. You know, but I just think it's this false facade that's portrayed out into the world. But America has a very, very ugly underbelly. That's what people need to know.
For sure.
Happy Kwanzaa, day 2. Yes, ladies. So I appreciate y'all coming up on this panel and supporting me, ladies. The paycheck is calling. I gotta get to work.
Okay,
well, you
me
go right
too.
ahead, honey.
Awesome. This was a great
All right, ladies,
conversation.
have a good night.
Okay. Peace out.
Okay,
y'all.
bye-bye.
Take care.
Take care.
All right, guys, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you all joining me today. Thank you so much. We touched on a lot of topics, and I'm really enjoyed this panel. I hope we have more like this to come. But there's some jewels for our kings and queens out there, like how we need to learn how to respect ourselves again. So I appreciate all of you joining me today. Please remember to hit that like, subscribe, and that bell button. And to all my haters out there,
and I want to say thank you in case I don't thank you enough.
We love y'all too. We sending y'all love too. Okay, we gonna love y'all and move y'all off that hate train. Okay, so I appreciate y'all joining. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. 1.